Hello, welcome to my Facebook Live. Tonight I will be stamping with you and sharing my monthly online card class, and we'll be featuring the Country Bouquet stamp set. So I will go ahead and give a few minutes or a couple minutes for people to join, and I'm going to pull this up on my iPad so I can see comments. So if you're joining, say hello. Okay, let me get my catalog. I think I'm pretty ready to go. Hi Diana, thanks for joining. Good to see you again. So I saw some of you earlier today. I did my weekly Facebook Live, and I shared some of the new punches from the catalog. I did a catalog walkthrough, shared some swaps that I received. So if you missed that, be sure to go back and watch the replay. So let me open this up. Okay, so tonight I'm going to be sharing the Country Floral Lane Suite of products. Okay, so I'm going to be using everything that's in this suite. So it comes with a designer series paper that's 12 by 12, and it also has a coordinating gingham pack of paper that's 6 by 6. It has the pastel adhesive back sequins, and then there's also these real red and burlap ribbon combo pack that comes with it, and then the stamp set, which is the Country Bouquet, and the coordinating punch. Okay. I will share right off the bat that some of these items have gone on back order. So the punch is on back order and it won't be available until April. However, I'm going to show you how you can improvise some of the projects I'm sharing with these heart punches that we have in the annual catalog. And you may already own these, so not to fret. The ribbon has gone on back order, but it should be back for the end of February. And let's see what else. The paper, the stamp sets, the sequins, those are all available. And like always with my monthly card class, if you place an order using this hostess code in my online store, if it's $35 or more, I will send you a kit to make all the cards that I'm going to feature here tonight. So all you need is your own ink and stamps. If you spend $50 or more, I will send you a package of the sequins, the embellishments that go with these cards. And also it's Sale-A-Bration right now, so if you spend $50 or more, you get to choose a stamp set out of the Sale-A-Bration catalog as well. So if you haven't seen anything out of this catalog, be sure to go watch my live from this morning. I showed 2 cards with this adorable owls stamp set, which you can earn for free if you spend $50. So I did want to share that when they have a suite of products in the catalog, if you want to buy everything that's in that suite, they do have one item number and one price that you can enter into the computer so that you don't have to list out all of these items. The only thing is that when something's on back order, this will not work because you can't order things that are on back order. So with this suite of products right now, the punch is on back order and the ribbon is, so you can't use this number, but you can go in and order the individual items. And then I will share when the punch is back in stock, and you can order that later if you'd like. So here's the stamp set, and then they have another stamp set if you wanted to add on to that. I won't be sharing the stamp set tonight. but you can make it go even further if you wanted to and add on that bundle. Okay, so if you have questions, be sure to post them in the comments. If I miss them, I will go back. I always go back and read the comments, so I'll answer it in a reply. So here's my hostess code. This is good through Sunday. Also, I shared this morning that if you do place an order and you get this online card class in the mail, I'm going to include a little bundle of punched items. So we can't sell stamped items, but I can include punched items. So I promised this morning that I would share some of the punched items from the cards today. So we did the bunny, we used some of the clouds, and we used some of the clovers. I did want to let you know also, I checked before I went live tonight. The 4-leaf clover punch is now on back order. So something to note is when a new catalog comes out, if you love the punches, that is the first thing you want to get, because those often go on back order, and it takes a month or two for them to come back in stock. So, especially if they're associated with a holiday, you really want to get them right away. So the clover has to be determined of when it's going to be available. And then the other item that I wanted to share that is on back order are the framed floret dies. Now these were a preview back in December. They carried over to this catalog. I will be showing you one of the cards with those dies, so that's why I'm letting you know that they're on back order. They will be available at the end of March. However, if you place an order and you get this kit, I will include several of the punched items, including the hearts in several different colors, so that you'll have these to create with if you'd like. So this is just kind of like a little bonus. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. So this is the stamp set, and it features two-step stamping. So if you don't know what two-step stamping is, it's usually when you stamp one stamp and then you'll stamp another, and you'll see we're going to do that with the flowers, and you can also do it with the hearts here. And you can use this for Valentine's Day or for friendship. And then it has the coordinating punch, and it has the designer series paper. The designer series paper is called Country Floral Lane. Okay, these are upside down. So it has all of these papers and double-sided. So I love the kind of worn look of these. Let's see what's on this side. So then they have blue. So the colors in this suite of products, we have balmy blue, we have mint macaron, we have mossy meadow, petal pink, and sweet sorbet. Okay, so those are the colors in the suite. Okay, and so then we have the bicycles and some more kind of background. Here's some flowers and some more hearts, and here's some hearts. And this one's kind of hard to see, but it has real faint X's and O's and hearts on there. So those are the papers, and then they also have the gingham papers, which these are fun to layer with. So these ones here are sweet sorbet and petal pink. Okay, and then you turn them over, and you have the mossy meadow and the balmy blue. So, okay, so those are the papers that you get in the suite and the colors. So, let's go ahead and start making some cards. So like I said, if you place an order, you will get all the cardstock that you need, the designer series paper, everything that I can punch out before stamping, and envelopes in your kit. Okay, And it includes anything that's die cut before stamping. So, so let's start with our first card. And this one I decided I want to do landscape. So I just have your basic, I'm sorry, I lost my words. Basic card base, right? And then a layer of the designer series paper. Here's just a scrap of the gingham that I thought would look cute on here. I really like layering the gingham with the flowers. Okay, and then I have this basic white that I'm going to stamp on. And so for this one, I'm going to show you the two-step stamping with the heart, the floral heart. So this first stamp is the leaves, and the second one is like the hearts and the flowers. Now you could sit here and color those in with the markers if you want. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to stamp in the red and the mint macaron. Okay, so it doesn't matter which one you do first. Some people have a preference. I think that I am going to do the mint macaron first. Okay, just want to make sure you all can see. Okay, so we'll come down and stamp this down. And I didn't put a mat under this. I think it'll be okay. Yeah. Okay. And then next I'm going to come in with the Sweet Sorbet and use my flowers and my hearts. And then this you kind of want to line up, and I have to kind of bring it towards me for a minute. You don't need to line it up exactly, but when you go overhead, you can kind of see where the flowers fill in. And that's where you want to stamp. Okay. And you can see with my block, it's not exactly straight. I just put the stamp on there. I didn't really worry. I just made sure it was on the block. And then there's the heart. Isn't that beautiful? It just pops. Okay. All right. So clean that up. And then let's put a sentiment on here. I'm just going to use this little tiny one that says I love you. Okay. And I'm just going to put it right down here. Okay. And then this is going to layer onto here. Okay. And this suite of products, it does have the ribbon that goes with it. However, this is not available to order right now, so I'm going to show you something else. I'm going to show you both. This suite of products is real. I don't want to say it's old-fashioned. I don't know. It reminds me of, I mentioned it earlier, it reminds me of older Stampin' Up, kind of like the worn look. I don't know. So it makes me think about linen thread. So I thought linen thread would look great on this. Okay. So I'm going to use some linen thread, and what I'm going to do, I think, is I think that I'm going to wrap it around. I think I'm going to wrap it around here, and then, yeah, okay, so, all right, so I'm going to use my Tombow glue, and I'm going to glue this little piece down over here to the side, okay, and then I'm going to take some of my linen thread, and you can measure out like a foot or 12 inches. I just like to bring it around a couple times, and then I'm going to tie a bow. So I'll give myself enough room to tie a bow. Okay. And then I'm going to tie the bow kind of at the top. So make sure I have enough to do that. And then kind of tighten it up here. Okay. Alrighty. Okay. Alright, I'm not going to trim that up until I'm done with my card. Okay, because I'm going to just see where it lays. Spread those out a little bit. And now I put that on my base here. So, get my bone folder. So if you don't use a bone folder, you don't have to. But it just makes your crease so much nicer. You can see that lays down flat now. Okay, and I'm going to take my Tombow glue. Don't want to glue that piece down. You don't want to put too much because you don't want it to get all warped and look like a 4th grader did it. So less is more in this case, okay? And then we'll press that down. Okay, now I'm going to put this one on here. So if you do get this kit to go, and you don't have the stamp set and you don't plan on buying it, you can stamp with any other stamp set that you have. This is just a square piece of cardstock, so it shouldn't be too hard to figure something out. These are our foam adhesive strips. So if you watch me often, you know that I like all kinds of different adhesives. So I want to pop this up, and rather than using a ton of mini dimensionals, I can just use these foam strips. These are also good if you want to make shaker cards. And I put some in the center just so it doesn't deflate in the center. You don't have to, but since I have these little pieces, why not, right? All right, does anybody watching have this stamp set yet? Is anybody planning to get it? All right, and then I'm going to bring this over, and I'm going to do it right over that green edge there. So it's not necessarily in the center, but it's just over that edge right there. Okay, like so. And let's see here. I like the country kind of feel. Maybe that's what I was meaning earlier. Not like old-fashioned, but country feel of that. Okay, so I don't want to put any gold on it. I don't know. I really like it just like that. Just sweet and simple. What do you think? So that's the first one. Okay. And then we need to do the envelope. Don't forget about the envelope. Okay. So I have a stamp ready to go for all the envelopes for this, and it's just these little hearts here. So that no matter what card I make, I can just take those and just put a little sneak peek on the envelope so the recipient knows that it's one of my handmade cards. It's going to be beautiful, right? Makes it so much more exciting to open your mail. All right. Okay. Okay. So that one was sweet and simple. This next one is going to be sweet and simple as well, but using the blues. Okay, and this one we're going to use the punch. So starting my base is Balmy Blue, and this is from the gingham pack. Okay, and then again I'm layering flowers with the gingham, and this is from the Country Floral Designer Series paper. Okay, so what I like to do when I have a package of Designer Series paper is I like to look on the back, and you can do this in the catalog also, especially when you're trying to figure out what to order, especially if you're ordering on a budget. It's good to get a suite of products because they all coordinate and you'll be able to do so much more with them. But on the back of the paper and in the catalog, it gives you a list of the colors that are in this Designer Series paper. So that's how I figure out what papers I'm going to be using when I'm using a package of Designer Series paper. Okay, if you don't have all the colors, be sure that you check this when you're placing an order so that you can make sure that you at least have one or two of those colors, and then you don't necessarily need all of them, but if you have one or two, you're going to have something that's going to match each one of the papers. Okay, all right, so for this one I wanted to feature the punch on this one. Okay, so this is the punch, and it punches out the double hearts and the leaves. So for this one, I am going to come in here, and when I punch with this punch, I like to punch all of them so that I have some leftovers, because I might want to use these on my cards, on some different cards later. Okay, so I know that I want the leaves for this one, and then I'm just going to do a blue on this one. Blue heart, hold on. Alright, so here I'm going to come in. I'm going to punch all four, but I just want this heart. Okay. So then I'll put these aside, and then I have those for later. You might even throw them into, depending on how you store your 12 by 12 Designer Series paper. I leave mine in the plastic. I would probably take these and throw them in here, so that I have them when I'm going to use that paper. Okay, I'm going to keep these here because I promised that I would share those. So that's what I'm going to do. Now I want to show you, in case you're not able to get this punch right away, how we could incorporate the same card with these punches. I believe these are sold separately. I think at one point they might have been sold together. I can't remember. But anyways, if you have one or both, I'm going to show you how you can improvise with this. Okay, so I'm just punching a blue heart out of this, and then sorry guys, I thought I had all my paper here ready to go. And then this is the scalloped one. Okay. Okay, so I am going to layer this onto here, okay, and kind of create a flower. And I think I'm going to use my Mossy Meadow for my words. And for this one, I want to make this a friendship card, so I'm going to use I Love That We Are Friends, and I think I'm going to stamp it down here on the bottom onto the gingham. Okay, now if you didn't have this punch and you wanted to recreate this card, you could simply layer that on here and do something like that. Or maybe I might use a darker color for this. Doesn't show through too well with that. So maybe something like that, and then put that on there, okay? But I have this one, so that's what I'm going to use. Okay. And so, to do this card, this one is not going to have a ton of stamping on it. We're just going to do the sentiment down here, okay? And I'm going to do that in Mossy Meadow. So, we'll do this. And for those of you that, when you get photopolymer stamp sets, they tend to have a film on them from when they made them. So it's always a good idea to clean them off. I just have my chamois over here before you do that first stamping. You don't have to, but you might notice that the first time you stamp it, it doesn't give you a crisp image. The other thing to note is in the catalog, let me show you really quick. In the catalog this year, they have made some of the stamp sets. You can choose if you want photopolymer or the red rubber. And let me try to find one. But they didn't tell us that in the beginning, okay? And I think that Stampin' Up! Has run into some problems because people didn't realize that there was a choice. Let me see here. Oh, okay. So, for example, on this stamp set, I think there's 10 stamp sets in the catalog that are like this. Just be sure to pay attention when you're ordering, okay? So you'll see this one has a C, and it has a number by it, and then it has a P and a number by it. The C is for cling mount. That's like this, the red rubber. And then the P is photopolymer, and that's this, the completely clear. So there's a couple stamp sets where you actually have a choice, okay? So be sure to pay attention to that when you're ordering. Some people have a preference, some people don't. I don't really. When they first brought out the photopolymer, there was only certain stamp sets that were on photopolymer, and then they made it. It seems like some of the larger stamp sets now they do in photopolymer. So I guess they're testing that out. All right, so I'm gonna just stamp this down here like that. Okay, so you can see I stamped directly onto the gingham paper. All right. And let's see, if we wanted to, we could use this ribbon here. I don't know, what do you guys think? Do you like that ribbon with that one? Or I could actually tie it around here. That might be kind of cute. What do you think? I'm going to try it. Okay, so I'm going to, this is how I kind of measure. I don't actually sit and measure. I just kind of, I know I want to tie a knot with this one. So the ribbons that are wider and a little more, have a little more body to them, I like to do knots with these because I feel like the knots come out really pretty. Okay. All right. So let's fold this in half. And so see, if I fold this with my hand, you can see it's fine, but it pops open. If I use my bone folder, now it lays flat for me to work on. So a bone folder is a helpful tool to have, and it's one of those things, if you're trying to get to a certain dollar amount, it's a great thing to add on. Once you get used to using a bone folder, it's great to have a backup because oftentimes you'll lose one, and once you learn to love it, you can't live without it. So if you have a backup, that's always helpful. Okay, so we're going to glue this one down. Okay, and then I'm going to let that dry for a second, and then I'll tie my ribbon around. And I'm going to offset my knot just a bit. Okay. Okay, and then we'll pull that. So I'm not going to pull it super tight because I don't want it to get smushed. I want it to kind of stay like a square knot like that. Okay, and then I'll trim this up. Make it look pretty and even. Okay. And then again, I'm going to use my foam strips to place this on my card. And I'll just put a couple dimensionals in the center. Okay. And then we'll set this here. Okay, now if you didn't have the regular heart that I'm going to use, you could put this one on here. I might emboss that with an embossing folder. But I do have this one, so I am going to pop that up using some dimensionals. And it's going to be like a little flower on here. And then I'm going to use my leaves. I'm just going to put some glue, some Tombow glue right here at the bottom. So there's our second card. Okay, and then we got to do the envelope real quick. So I am going to pull out my mint macaron because I want it to match. And again, I'm just going to get my little hearts and stamp that down. So I love sitting down to play with a suite of products because everything coordinates. So you'll have like these little scraps and these little pieces and you can use them. That's actually where I got this idea from, as I had this little scrap lying around and I saw it and thought it would look nice on here. So it helps, especially if you're kind of creatively challenged a little bit. It helps with getting you kind of out of your, comfort zone and trying different things. So I didn't put any of these on. I think we could probably do the blue because I want to show you these. I think the blue, it looks a little funny under the light, but I think we'll use the blue on here. So I am just going to, I always have a hard time with these, doing them random. I'll do one of the bigger ones. Let's see. I don't know why I have such a hard time with this, but I do. So I'll just do right there. Just put it on there, right? So we have that. Okay. Okay, so then 2 more cards. So the next card, I want to feature this designer series paper. So this is one of those sheets, and this one actually coordinates with the punch. So it has this on the back, and if you come in here like that, you can see you can cut that out with the punch. So that's what I'm going to do with this next card. Okay. Again, if you don't have the punch, you can fussy cut this with your snips. That wouldn't be too hard to do. So for this card, I'm starting with Sweet Sorbet, and then I'm using a layer of this striped paper here. And then I decided to use Petal Pink and the Sweet Sorbet here, and then with the Petal Pink, I embossed it with the stitched greenery, because these little hearts are like flowers and petals, so I thought the stitched greenery would go good. So I'm going to put that on. Okay, so that's how you can incorporate some of the things that you might already have. And so then I'm going to come in here and I'm going to punch these out. So you just line them up and then you punch the whole thing at once. Okay. All right. And for this one, let's see, that one's a Valentine's. I think this one I'm going to do a friendship as well. So, and I think that I'm going to do it down here. Let me think here. Actually, I might do this one on I Love You and just stamp right across here. I think that will come out all right. So let's try it. Let's hope. Fingers crossed. Okay. So here's my Sweet Sorbet. Now again, same thing with the inks. You don't necessarily have to have all the colors in the inks, but make sure that you have one or two if you're going to be getting this paper. And then that way you'll be able to create lots of projects, but you don't necessarily have to have every single color in the paper. Okay, so I just pulled these 3 ink pads out so that I could use those. Okay. And so this has already been embossed. You could stamp before or after. I think this is going to work fine. Yeah. So there's the I Love You. Okay. And then here, let's see here. There's another stamp in here that says Just Wanted to Say. So I'm actually going to use this one. And what I'm going to do for this is set it on a block. Now this is the first time I've used it, so I'm just gonna, you can't see the film on it, but when you go to stamp, it won't stamp clearly, so I'm just gonna clean it up, okay? And this says I Love You, so I'm gonna get my envelope, okay, make sure that it's the right side. And on here, I'm gonna stamp down here at the bottom and say, Just Wanted to Say. Okay, so they get a little sneak peek, and then when they open it, it's going to say, I love you. Okay. All right. So, I think we're ready to put this card together. So you'll see that there's minimal stamping on these cards. You could do more if you wanted. I'm going to actually try something on this one. Okay. So I'm going to take these hearts that I was using on the envelopes, and I'm just going to stamp a background down the side. Kind of, let's see here. Hold on. Okay. So this is color on color. Okay, so this is Sweet Sorbet on Sweet Sorbet. Okay. That. Okay. And then we'll put this over here and then put this on top. Okay. So I'm going to actually do one more heart right here. Okay. So I don't have to stamp the whole thing because a lot of it's going to be covered, right? Okay. All right. Now, some of you probably noticed I'm going live on a different day at a different time for my monthly class. So previously I was doing it on Mondays at 4. And I'm trying to switch things up a little, get my schedule to flow a little better. So I just picked this time because it worked today. So let me know if you like this time. If this is a good time. I am a morning person, so oftentimes it's hard for me to be like wide awake and going and creative in the evening, but I did take a nap this afternoon, so that helped. So let me know. My weekly lives are going to be on Wednesdays at 11 a.m. and I'm going to do that for a couple weeks and see how that works out. Okay, I did put a poll out there, and it was kind of a tie between that one and an afternoon one. And like I said, I'm a morning person, so I picked the morning one. Now you have to be careful with this die. Sometimes if you use too much liquid glue, I don't know if you can see that, but it'll squeeze out. Okay, if that happens, just let it dry, and then you'll be able to, you can use your finger or use a little eraser, whatever, to clean it off. Okay. Okay, so again, I'm going to use my foam strips on the back of this. Serena says she's a night owl. The funny thing is I used to be when I was younger, but I'm not now. And I did read that you can actually change. You can be a night owl at one point in your life and, you know, be a night owl and then switch to a morning person. So the way that I know that is that I can wake up at 4:30 every morning without an alarm. So, and I can function pretty well. So if it's hard for you to wake up in the morning and you don't function well, you're probably not a morning person, but I am. So I do like to go live when lots of people can join me, though. So that's why I do my monthly class in the evenings. I've been doing it early evenings. So let me know if you're watching the replay. Let me know in the comments. You know, if you like 6 o'clock, if you like later. I don't know that I would do it later, but you know, I do this for you guys, so I want as many people to join as possible. Okay, so I punched these out with the punch, right? And I'm going to layer them on here. And I just have to figure out where I want this little one. I think I'm going to put it there. Okay, and so I'm going to use dimensionals to pop it up. So dimensionals just give everything a little bit more character. Okay, so put that down. I'm going to glue the leaves down. And okay, and then I'm going to use a mini dimensional on this one down here. Did you know that we have many dimensionals and then they come in black? If not, you need to get your catalog out and go check out the page that has the dimensionals on it. So there's that card along with the envelope. And this one I do want to put some of these little sequins on. I could do the pink or I could do the gold. I think I'm going to do the, let's see. I don't know. What do you guys think? Pink or gold? I'm thinking, my next card I'm going to do gold. So I'm thinking pink, but I'll wait to see what you guys say. Pink. Diana says pink. I'm thinking pink too. Okay, let's just do pink. So this is the participation part. Okay, Serena said pink too. Okay, good. All right, so let's see if we can do this a little better than the last one. Let's see. That there. That there. Put one there. Put one there. Maybe put one there. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I like to have an odd number. So there's the little with these. Okay, so if you do an online order and it's $50 or more, you'll get a free Sale-A-Bration item, plus you'll get a package of these from me. Plus you get the card kit. Plus you get the little pack of punched shapes. So, and I will post the hostess code, and I will be sending out an email like I usually do. Hopefully I'm able to download my video. The last one I did, I wasn't able to, but Facebook is always changing. I'm not really sure why they change some of the things they do. It doesn't make sense, but they're always changing everything. So you get comfortable figuring out how to do something, and then they change it, and you got to figure out. You got to find it. They don't tell you what's new. You got to find it. Okay, so this next card is going to be featuring this die. So this is from the framed floret dies, the ovals that we got, or that we could order last month. So these are on back order. Okay, so if you didn't get these, they're on back order. However, if you get the kit, if you place an order and you get this kit, I will die cut these for you because I don't have to stamp first. Okay, so anything that doesn't have to be stamped first, I can die cut for you, and I will. So when you get your kit, you're going to have this. My light is going out. You're going to have this sheet. This is your card base, and then your gingham. Sorry, hold on. Let me see if I can. Nope, it's dying. Okay, note to self. I have to charge that better. Sorry about that, guys. And then this is going to lay over the top. Okay, so and then what we're going to do on this one, I'm going to stamp this again with my envelope with my little hearts. Okay, make sure it's the right side, right direction. I'm going to do that, and then on here I'm going to take a little strip of paper, and I don't know if I cut one. Let's do this here. I'm just going to take a little strip of paper, and I'm going to actually stamp the Happy Valentine's Day on it. Okay, so I think you guys can see that. Okay, and so I'm just going to cut that. All right. And then what we're going to do is I took the gnome dies, and I cut a little gnome out, and I used the gingham for his hat. Okay, and I did the white for his beard. I did the petal pink for his nose, and I did the sweet sorbet for his little feet. Okay, and then we're going to make a little gnome card. So to build this, so you'll see that I cut this cardstock shorter than my gingham, because I wanted the gingham to show on the outside. And it's up to you if you want to put a different color in here so that it shows through. That might be a good idea. We could put a white piece. So, yeah, let's see here. So just to stick a white piece on the back, I'm just going to bring this in. And let's see, it needs to be a little shorter. Okay, and then that. Doesn't have to be perfect. and then I'm going to put that behind there. So I'm going to actually do that first. Okay. So I'm just going to put it right on here, like so. Okay. And then we'll put this down. And then I think to give this a little interest, I'm going to put foam strips on this to pop it up. Okay, so here's the strips, and you just cut them to the length that you need. Become a little bit longer too. You don't want this to cave down in the middle. So I will post photos of these cards on my Facebook page and on my website. And I'll put the link. Okay, let's see here. All right, so I'm going to put this down here, and then I'm going to make my little gnome guy. So I didn't really think that out. His pants get lost in there, so I'm going to cut his little pants out of this pink really quick. Okay, just give me 1 second. And this is the last card, so stick with me. I'm getting ready for my in-person classes. I do all my in-person classes at the end of the month. So my craft room is kind of got a lot of things going on. So I'm doing my die cutting on my chair. Okay. All right, that's better. Now you'll be able to see his little legs. I just like to kind of figure out where these go before I glue them all down. Okay, that goes like that, and then his little nose goes on top. So let's start with his feet. I'm just placing that where I want it, okay, and then I'm going to glue his feet down. And then his beard. So if you get if you get my kit, you will get these gnome pieces, because again, they don't have to be stamped. And then we're going to put some dimensionals on his hat. And we're going to put a dimensional on his nose. And I am going to use a little partial one here. Okay, so let's do the hat. And stick that right there. His nose. Stick right there. And then if we want to pop this up, which I'm going to do, I will just use another one of these strips. And then place that right like so. And there you have a Valentine's card with your matching envelope. Isn't that sweet? So again, we did 4 cards featuring the Country Floral Lane suite of products. Okay, if you missed the beginning, be sure to go back and watch the live. Okay, these are the cards we made for my monthly online class. If you place an order in my online store and use this hostess code, you will get the kit to make these cards, minus the ink and stamps. You can order the stamps right now, and you can order the ink. The punch is on back order, but I did show some alternative ideas, and I will include these punched hearts, because that's not stamped, so I can punch those out and include those in your kit, and I can include these in your kit, okay? So thanks for joining me tonight. I hope you all have a good evening, and join me here next week, Wednesday at 11 a.m. Thanks, guys. Bye.